don't practice. Y'all spend more time on the politics, like, oh, I'm gonna just get that information instead of practice. That don't even make sense. How can you get better at basketball just only watching film? Imagine you had 3 hours of practice at basketball or any sports you can name a day, right? And you spent the 3 hours, 2.5 hours watching, and then the last 30 minutes actually playing. That wouldn't even make sense. That's what y'all do with games. That's what y'all do with social skills. Like, y'all spend all this time watching these videos, and in 15 minutes, I'm gonna approach one woman a week, 2 women a week. I'm gonna try to go to this new event to put myself and my business out there. I'm gonna network No, that don't even make sense. How would you even get better? It's almost like practice is the basic formula to get better at anything. Exactly. That's when you start realize it has nothing to do with the circumstance or the situation. The method is proven. I could sit here and talk about a method of getting better at anything. And don't reinvent the wheel. Exactly. You just got it. I use the same method I'm using right now to push myself in the algorithm of YouTube and grow the channel and grow the content that I'm using to get better at music. The same method I use to get my financial literacy up. It's the same method. Nothing changes at all. It shouldn't change. It should just be a broken shot you just keep spamming. And then it just produces results. And guess what? If I go to my motherfucking video thing right now, right? This motherfucker say, let me make sure the money not on there. What that bitch say? 1 out of 10. And listen, 1 out of 10. All greens, bro. All greens. And I think that was the first video. Was that the first one? On this channel, I think. That I uploaded since I just did a consultation call with a social media manager talking about, marketing and getting stuff to the next level, like all types of shit. I reinvested in myself. And listen, I'm trying to tell you, bro. It's to be shown and not told. So, practice a universal concept. Right. And it also has to do with this. And my guy Steve put me on this idea. There's a difference between practice and rehearsing. See, you practice something to get it right. And then once you get it right, you rehearse how you want it to look. So, reframing that, right? Let's say when I'm playing the guitar. It's one thing, like, if I'm learning the song, then I'm practicing it. But if I'm sitting here saying to myself, okay, I want to perform this on a stage. Okay, I want to play it with a certain poise. I want to play it with a certain grace or a certain finesse to it or a certain feel and a certain, like I have the vision. Then at that point, it's not practice. Like, I'm rehearsing it. I'm acting it out. I'm going through the motions. I'm in my head, like, how is this supposed to look? How do I want it to look? And how am I preparing myself for that moment? It has, that rehearsal part is like, now, you know what? I got it, and I'm tightening it up, and I'm bringing it out. I'm like acting it out. Like, and it actually takes practice to another level. Now, when you put the practice into context, right, it's when you become a part of it. Exactly. The stuff you've been saying really do be working, but you got to do it. This is why progress is progress, bro. Nigga really said Tupac an actor too. He was. Why you laughing at that? You heard about UFO and aliens being real? Aliens and the UFOs are just as real as the Illuminati. Another ploy that they give the public or general people to focus on and pay attention to be distracted and go crazy and ride over. But it's never it's like the Trojan horse. It's like what you give people to react to while something else is really going on. It's a different conversation for another day. You don't want to be one of the average people, which is like most people, not even the average, but just most people who see that bite the hook and they caught and they already react and they already caught and reeled in. They get y'all every time with shit like that, bro. Y'all gotta be smarter than this. Oh, let me wipe my board. I'm telling you, it's like the Illuminati. Like, people will still talk about the Illuminati, bro. Like, how secret is the secret society if you and your grandma know about it? Like, if the most ignorant person you know knows about it, it's probably not. Like, you probably bit the hook, gang. You bit the hook. love to feel like they got something. Like, oh, I got, bro, that's the Illuminati, bro. That pyramid right there, bro. Ooh. Just always what you find out about knowledge in general. See, I was into this shit when I was like 10 years old. What you've always found out about knowledge, there's always a meaning behind the meaning. Always. When you go, you gotta find the layers to the information. A lot of times you'll hear what the most popular belief is, the conspiracy theory part about it. That's just like the version that got not even watered down. Watered down is not the word. That's the version that it's like probably the narrative that stuck, or the narrative that made people react to an emotion the most, whether the emotion be fear, whether the emotion be hope, or whatever the emotion is. And then people hold on to that narrative because it's the one that's most compelling. But the actual knowledge itself, when you go to the origin or the root of it, when you peel the layers off, like whether it be like, okay, so what's the meaning behind the word Lucifer, or the meaning morning star? Where did that get traced from? What going into the language, like what language was this derived from? And when it was derived from that language, what did it mean in that language? And what was the context historically of what it meant or to be applied to? And how does that matter to where it and what it means today? I'll tell you, I go deep when I dive into this shit. You ain't just gonna find some conspiracy, because I've been through all that shit. All the that do shit now and they be on TikTok like, did you know that this person did this? Bro, they so like light years behind. It's like not even funny, bro. But it's always bite the hook. So it's always interesting to see people react to the same shit that's been common knowledge. But the funny part is they're just on like the tip of the iceberg. They don't even realize they're still biting a false hook yet. I'm telling you, it's just a little hard pretending that I'm a regular person that just doesn't get into the shit, bro. That's why I'll be telling y'all, when I don't do blind dates and entertainment, it's a whole nother side of me that could just be immersed in the content and the type of shit I could talk about. Almost like a political world affairs kind of Tykwondoe. That I feel like it's fighting to be bust out of the cage, bro. That's a sneak peek of that was the Allegory of the Cave video. That should have in and of itself been one of those videos where it's like, hold on, this nigga got something going on here, man. This nigga said, "Can you teach us how to riz a pregnant?" You gotta be crazy. Good boy. Good boy, Boogie. He tired as hell. We was outside all day. Conspiracies are the worst thing that happened to the black community. Definitely not the worst thing, but it's just Jesus, don't get me started. Some blacks believe in flat earth. Well, flat earth has nothing to do with being black. Why are we taking this trip of like equating black with ignorance? Like you can have a doctorate degree and be ignorant, like completely. You can be have a degree, be a scholar and just be a bot. Like that's very possible. And be on a low level of thinking and a slave to your environment and expectations of society, and only think within the bounds of following directions, orders, and the proper way to live. So it has nothing to do with an ethnicity or a role or a title. You just ranked yourself by even saying that. Chopper already read about the Freemasonic shit, bro. I'm telling you, that's like chapter 1. If hearing about this shit is the cover of the book, all the Freemasonry, bro, that's like the tip of the iceberg. I could do this. Okay. Can y'all see? Now, this is what I'm saying. It already was small on my phone, right? But on my phone, this is what I can do. I can zoom in hard as shit. Listen, it's words all over this. This is what we get at when we say tip of the iceberg, brother. What's at the top of the pyramid? Mind you, this is a full picture of words all over this. It's even words over here. I'm telling you. I said we're not going to talk about it. Can of worms, 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 can of worms. Can of worms, man. Was it the Mason symbol? Yeah, all the way at the bottom of the pyramid, meaning where most the general public thinks they. Oh, that wasn't even the bottom. Excuse me. Excuse me. There's actually things below that. You want to know? Can you guess what was below that? Watch this. This is where y'all are. Y'all think y'all at. Just watch this. And I don't say this in a condescending way. I just say this in a way like y'all can't help it because it's the nature of the internet and people just selling what they think is new information. You know what's at the bottom? Below all that? Look at this. The Matrix. 9-to-5 slaves. Sheep. Clone, people who think about the clones and shit. Robot toys. Football. Religion. Medical. Government. Legal. Education. Media. Human lifestyle. Netflix. EU. NATO. You know, it's a whole bunch of shit on here, bro. Like, you literally have to zoom in to make sense of this shit. And if I know why my nails are so long, it's because I play the guitar. And I use my right hand as a pick. This whole bunch of shit, bro. What's at the top of the pyramid? They said Polo G at the top. I am that I am. I am that I am. That's what's at the top. Power over your soul. Power over yourself. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am whoever I choose to be. I will become whatever I choose to become. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me post that quote. And going into that. This is why. Like, I feel like, bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro. It's how you think the earth is round. See, people that ask questions like that, what difference does it make? Yes, I think the earth is round, but y'all gotta get out of the nature of, before bullets, I appreciate the 2 months. Y'all gotta realize, like,
yo.
Okay, if we're gonna have this kind of talk, let's just drop all the cloak. I'm gonna just really like give y'all a taste of like some truly authentic me. You gotta break free from the level of Neanderthal where you think pandering to the idea of something is worth your time. It's not at all. And I'm gonna tell you why. You sit here and say whether the earth is flat or the earth is round, whether it's flat or round, what would it change in your life? You are more obsessed with the breakthrough of a realization of some information than you are the breakthrough and realization of changing your actual life. Then number 2, then you also have the fact that Hashiraya, I appreciated 2 months, right? Then you also have so you have those crowd. I'm talking to you about the crowd of people with this like self-evolution spiritual shit, this deeply woke shit. You got the people who are obsessed with the titles and the egotistic, I'm above this person or I'm below this person because I have information that they don't have, and I have this or I have that, and they don't know that, or they just don't know. And those people are still stuck in the perception of ego because they don't realize that it's about not only if you free yourself, then those who are free attract each other. Those who are free, they always go on and give information to those who are necessary. They don't hold on to it and gatekeep it as some sort of condescending effort to be above or below somebody, because you are who you are, and there's no relative measurement of your value. You just are who you are in your own unique way if you are truly living authentically to yourself. Then you have the people who have been so structured and taught and pawned and cloned and puppeteered into who they should be, who they've been taught to be, or who they think they should be in their narrative of their story of their heads, that when presented with the information that shows them who they are is very limited, and who they are is very limited, or who they think they are is very limited. Who taught them to be who they are, which may be a person that they trust and dearly love, is also limited in themselves. And the structure of that, if they have to give it up, it feels almost like killing themselves, because they're also killing off an identity of a form of a person who they think they are. So that's too hard for most people when I'm talking about. Now, we named just those 2-3 crowds. We've cut off 98.9% of the population. So let's just talk about it, man. You know how hard it is pretending I think I'm 22 at the same time, like my mind just like kind of goes like this. The holes I jump through to exist sometimes, like, and by exist I just mean like fulfill social rebounds. Now I love when y'all feel shit like this, because this is where I really get the cooking. This is where I don't give a about clout. I don't give a about, oh my god, I went on this e-date, this blind date, this shit got this many views. I don't care. And the funny part is, just look at the bot levels, right? When I didn't do these things, right? People took it more as a mark on my credibility than an actual focus on the content I was producing and the information I was sharing. Bots, I tell you. Then we create stuff that gets blown out of the water. They say it's easy for me as breathing, as I do what I do in real life 10 times, million times better than I already do it on content. And they still don't see the bigger picture and the bigger image and cannot focus. They request more bot shit. But why am I surprised at sheep doing sheep things? Don't even know why. Don't even know. The hopes. This is the thing about me. I'm a naively optimistic man. Most of the times, leaders or people or influencers or not on some content creation shit or people in this position have quickly understood that there's a line in the sand to be drawn. And that line is between transcending and evolution and evolving outside of yourself. And that line is between simply being the same, no matter what the same is. The same person, the same community or way of thinking, the same whatever. It's staying the same, and then it's evolution and transcendence of self. They understood that there was a line in the sand, and those who are going to cross the line will, and those who will not never will. And I think I fight the line more than I actually need to. It should just be more about the transition to evolution of self. But I tend to be, I just like explaining things. Maybe that's my problem with liking to hear myself talk. It should really be moving towards more action and firm on what needs to be done than actually educating and freeing the minds, which also is a part of what needs to be done. But all right, we can go back to bot time. What are your thoughts on a plant-based diet? Just from my personal, research and endeavors, there are nutrients in meat that you can't get in plants. And people go on this whole debate and rant like, okay, you go and eat the cow, or you go and eat the beef, and then the beef eats the grass, and then we want to Yes, because there are chemicals that are created and grinded out into the substance of that animal that you don't get in meat. Now, if you are simple of the level of, well, the most protein is not in meat. I wasn't talking about protein, my boy. We can talk about the shit that's in fish. We can talk about so there are a lot of different nutrients, but again, not ones that you'll die if you don't have. Fast Tracks X Live, I appreciate the big 5 months. Now these aren't nutrients These aren't nutrients that you'll die if you don't have. It's not like that, but it's just part of a well-rounded diet. I wouldn't because I can only say this because I tend to eat once a day. I fast habitually, and I know the benefits and importance of that. But if you're eating meat every day, you're eating all these like super greasy, cooked in high temperature oil foods, you need to worry and watch out for many, many, many reasons. But as far as going a full plant-based diet, it's a lot of health benefits to that. It's a lot just because of there are things that you get when you chew and eat the actual plants than if you make a smoothie and stuff like that. People don't know, like, just for a simple one, like the fibers you get out of eating the plants. Also, but there needs to be a nutrient diversity. Like, you want to be eating fruits and vegetables of different colors. You just don't want everything to be green, because a part of what changes the colors in these fruits and vegetables is the actual chemicals that they're made of and put into. Think about the color that you tend to see citrusy fruits, like they tend to be like a yellowish or orange or something like that. And then you see the green ones, like you see what I'm saying? Like, there are different nutrients that all these fruits and vegetables have. How deep am I diving? I think I answered your question. And also, this is another thing about your diet as well. This is why you need nutrient density. A lot of the precursors or a lot of nutrients impact each other. So let's say you're deficient in vitamin D. You might just think, oh, I need some sunlight. Actually, no, you're low in cholesterol. And cholesterol is the precursor to vitamin D. So when you get sunlight, the sun doesn't give you vitamin D. The sun hits your body, turns cholesterol, and turns it into vitamin D. And I'm summarizing by saying turns into. But that's what people don't understand. Like, one nutrient may be limiting another one. Another example I can think of is, I think when you have a ample amount of salt in the body, your body is able to absorb water better. I might be talking about the wrong nutrient, but there are different nutrients that impact each other. So you can be deficient in one, and it f***s up the whole process of everybody else doing their job. You're right, bro. I know what I'm talking about. I went to school pre-med cellular molecular biology. Like, I actually went and dived into this shit. This is not YouTube University. And the only reason I dropped out because this was making a lot of money. I did not drop out because I had a low GPA or was doing bad in classes. Like, I really went tooth and nail to do what I do, and I applied it to my life. So this is a lot. Like, I really dive into this shit, bro. Where are we going? Is this coming from the understanding of biochemistry? It partially is, but I'm gonna tell you something. These classes will give you the knowledge, right? I don't have to bore y'all with the structure of this molecule. I don't have to bore you with that. What's the application? What is the application? That's the point that we want to get at, is what's the application? And you don't have to be super deep into the lore. What's the application? Why? What's important to you? Well, why should you care? And I think that's where we can get into the science of everything. But the important part is, like, why should you care? You know what I mean? And really pay attention to what I said earlier. You gotta have in today's time more than ever, you need to have the strongest filter than you've ever had. And what am I referring to when I say filter? Filter being that when anything comes across your mind, it could be a thought, it could be an experience, it could be a person, it could be an emotion, it could be a reaction, it could be anything that comes across your experience being as a living human. I don't think filter is the word I'm looking for. Yes, you need to worry about what you allow in and out, right? If an experience comes across my board, right, me and you experience the same thing, I'll use the experience to learn and grow. Ego will step aside, and I'll humble myself and look at the information and knowledge and question it and take it and turn it into what is useful to me in my experience of life. The next person who does not have a strong filter will take that experience, either emotionally react, be too stuck in the middle of the trees of the forest to look at the forest itself, look at the bigger picture, and make a detailed decision. Because the bigger picture and the details matter. So there's that as well. Then you have perception. If you watch the video of the alligator cave, you know perception is not enough. You have perception, right? And I'm not saying this to sound smart. I'm really saying this to say this. You have perception, and then you have your perception of your perception. Meaning, okay, yes, I understand my perspective, but can I look at my perspective from not just a different perspective, not just that. You know what? I remember watching the video and they used the perfect metaphor. Right? Look at this. If I look at this, if I say, what color is this book, right? Y'all would say black. I see white. So my perception and my perspective is that the book is white. Y'all see black. That's y'all perspective. Now, if I can look at a different perspective, then I can see that you think it's black and I can see that I think it's white. When can I look at the book itself? Like my perception of my perception and why I think it's white, and then not only compare it to yours, but be able to see the book. Now, the book is just a clear, easy metaphor that helps people understand that. But you can use that to think about many different things in life. Do you think a religion is important, or just the values and messages you get from it? It can be important in a lot of aspects. You know, it can be important in a lot of aspects. I think it was Nietzsche that said that, like, when God died, society changed a lot. And that was just metaphorically speaking on, like, when people stop being grounded to... Now, mind you, you don't need a perception of religion or anything like that to be a solid human being or to think, right? What a religion was supposed to be was just organized, like an organization of, like, worship towards a higher power, if you want to put it like that, you know, combining traditions and beliefs and what was written beforehand. And I think that, like, me personally, like, I'm not religious at all, but I've read a lot of religious texts in awe at the information and the stories and the examples and the meanings behind the stories, the information that's there. Like, there's no negotiation at the structure and the information provided in religions. Now, if you become that, you become a part of that, then that's your personal choice, you know, and that's on you. I'm more like a comb. Like, I comb through I comb through stuff and get what I need, you know, just for me personally. Without religion, where do humans get their morals from? The first Damn it! If I ask that question, you might question your whole life. I'm gonna just do it because we uncapping the filter. Who the person who wrote the book that you're reading or referring to morals was a human. So to say that, without religion, where would people get their morals from? A human wrote that. Like, so my point being, Nico Stoicism, I appreciate the file, get the subs. Like, they had it without reading what you read. Morality is natural. No, it's not. Oh, no, it's not. Morality is not natural. Morality is not natural. In fact, compassion and empathy is arguably natural, right? Like, they have done experiments, right? Let me know if y'all can hear me over the notifications. I appreciate the file gifted too. Y'all turned me up this stream. They've done experiments, if I remember correctly, where children have shown empathy and compassion at a really young age. So that those things are natural, but arguably it's also natural to a small percentage that people like psychopaths and sociopaths are a natural phenomenon. Like, so arguably it's also natural for a person to be extremely manipulative, extremely conniving, extremely goal driven, and have no morality to achieve what they want, which is by far some of the most dangerous people in the world for a reason. Because do you know what a human being is when there's nothing in their way mentally? When there's nothing in their way mentally, and they're very well qualified to do everything they seek out to do. So a lot of sociopaths and psychopaths are high level people, high level measuring, like, let's say status or career wise, or they 9 times out of 10 achieve what they want to, whatever that was, whether it be murder or manipulate. Like, they get what they want. I studied that shit. I'm telling y'all, when my information has no sense of like this is right or this is wrong. I just kind of like, when I'm curious about something, I dive into it. And sociopaths and psychopaths are very, very interesting when you can drop your like fear of like, this is a bad, horrible human being. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But sit back and look at these combos. Like, that's a crazy way to say it. But it's just like, yo, like you will be like, look back and like, what the f is going on with these people, bro? And it is some whoa type of shit, bro. The way I remember the experiment being is like, it proved that children can express emotions of compassion and relate to another human being at a very young age. And whether they were exposed to that environment, then they knew what that was supposed to look like. Who knows? I would hope so, maybe from their parents, right? Like, I would hope so, but then you would have to go back to the first humans and like, who taught them how to be compassionate? Like, so you can't argue that. Like, it has to be natural or some way or another, because it would never manifest. That's the word I use. It's like how you said morality without religion. Like, before the texts of the books were written, there was morality. Don't you know that, right? But the great, like the solid thing, like the really great thing about religion is that it's a lot of organized information and structure for people to get into and say, you know what, I like this. And it really will provide a lot of shape for a lot of people's lives. What do you think about Jeffrey Epstein? Terrible human being to take advantage of kids. Again, I believe I don't know what they call him, a psychopath, but he's definitely a sociopath. I think psychopaths tend to be like more violent and like shit like that. But with Epstein, he just didn't have a moral compass and things, like a moral conscience and stuff like that. But terrible for anything you do to kids or take advantage of people's innocence and just, I mean, like, yo, on that level, shitty, terrible person. And now I switch gears though. If you look at his story, right, from day one to his death date, the relationships he formed from scratch, the connections he had and how he leveraged them and how he went and like the shit that he did, coming into a already classist system. Oh my God, that dude was crazy, bro. He was different. He was damn well good at what he did. which is why he was so arrogant. That's what I'll be telling y'all. When you take a human being's moral conscience out the way and then you give them very well qualified skills. You know, I also compare this to, I say Martin Luther King and Hitler could have equally did what each other did. Could have equally did what the opposite person did. Martin Luther King could have created a whole entire movement of hate, and Hitler could have created a movement of love. Like, equally so. It's the same skills. It's the same, and I refer to them as skills because to be able to influence people on such a high level and do move and push people in a direction, as heinous and as evil as it is that's a skill. Like, that's not, you don't just get out of bed and do that. To do it on such a level and be successful at it, it's insane to think about because people, moral conscience kind of cut them off to look at a person, but I don't have that. I don't know why. You can judge me. You can say, oh, he's condoning that or whatever. This is how my brain works. It just literally is. It's like the fascination with like shit like knowledge. What do people mean by selling their soul? I've never understood that concept. Now, you could take it at face value, which most people may think that the devil has manifested itself, himself, or whatever you want to refer to the devil as, in hell, has manifested itself in a human being or person or entity, and physically, or spiritually taking a person's soul, that this same soul or this spiritual manifestation of this soul was signed away and sold. Now the devil owns it, or this evil spirit or entity owns that soul, and then now that soul can't go to heaven, or that person doesn't own their soul no more. So you have that belief, but the more accurate depiction of when somebody metaphorically says, "Oh, this person sold their soul," typically they just sold freedom over themselves. Like you can sell your soul without a contract. For example, let's say I became a famous rapper, right? And there's a famous rapper identity that I have. As the famous rapper, I have to be wild, I have to be aggressive and all that, right? I can sell my soul to this identity or the expectation that the public wants me to be. And I can sell my soul because then at the end of the day, I'm always waking up and slaving to fulfilling that role. Or, you have a record company or a record label or a job, and then, I compromise everything about myself and give it up for that. It's just selling your soul is just giving up you betraying yourself. Do you believe some rappers like Uzi and Juice WRLD or even others have sold their souls to grab fame? Again, you're a part of that trope of people who think that it's like they walked into a room and then the person said, "Do you want to be famous?" And then they said yes, and then they said, "Okay, now do this." Like, the only practical, relatable level that may be is if an artist already has some level or some form of talent, right? They could rap or they could sing, and then they met a powerful person in a certain position, business exec, producer, you name it, that has a kind of a evil foothold or clutch in the industry. And when they met this person kind of manipulated them into thinking that they needed to do something sexually or blackmail them in some way, shape, or form, because maybe that person had a vice that they were hiding, such as this person is desperate sexually, this person is into younger girls, this person likes to gamble, this person likes drugs, whatever vice that they have, this person puts a foothold or clutch into that, middleman's that, and then leverages that. But whatever the case may be, to your answer, I say no. I don't when y'all say oh, this person sold their soul and became famous, I don't see them walking into a room, meeting a person who just flipped a switch and then they just blew up. Only way I see that is if they went to a person who mentored them, gave them access to information, or told them what to do in order for them to be successful. Except that when they do it with that person, this person, you'll see it in their behavior. Like, they'll be extra selling out to the role that I mentioned earlier, like whatever that role is, whether it's being super wild or ignorant, right? But then you can argue, well, did they meet a person to do that, or did they find a role that they played that made them successful? So it's like, it's a pointless question. It's a pointless question. What are you going to get from it? That's the kind of shit I was talking about earlier when the guy asked, is the earth flat or round? What do you get from that? You just kind of debate ideas to sound good and sound entertained. So you got to get out of that. What are you getting from that? I'm even mad that I entertained that, but it just was interesting to me. So I'm not gonna lie, I seen you just sit in the middle of the Baphomet on that video shit. Again, take this at face value, but I just have to acknowledge it. There may be someone who's like, yo, the devil is as real as I know it is. Look at how they play with this symbolism. Look how they play with these meanings, and look at what these meanings and these symbols mean. And there's also another person who can do those things and completely not believe the devil exists. Can do it simply for the sake of controversy because they know somebody like you will talk about it. And then on top of that, there's also the idea that maybe it's not even real, but it's as real as you believe in the symbols or you believe in the narrative of this story. And then that's just a personal thing, you know. But if you ask me, do I believe in evil and good? Do I believe in like that nature of things? I definitely do, only because that I truly believe that there's a true evil. Like I truly believe that sometimes people get into dark places and channel dark energy and channel dark decisions, and it's just a scary place to be. I just that's just what I think personally. Should he believe in black magic? I'm gonna be honest, I've never pushed certain beliefs enough to care about them. Like, I'm gonna be honest, you asked me that question, I don't technically have an answer. I can straight up just say no. Like, I can straight up say no. But then I find it interesting that certain foreign countries and phenomena, they believe in like all types of shit, like voodoo and just a bunch of interesting things. So it's like, but then I can also look at it and just say like, you know, it's that kind of what do they call that? They say it about crystals. Like it's they call it like when you believe in something, it doesn't even matter if it's real. It's like you're already responding to the belief. Like your reality is already dictated by the belief. So it wouldn't even matter if it was real or fake. Like you are responding to the belief. Placebo, thank you. So it could just be a bunch of placebo carried over a long period of time traditionally, which wouldn't be impossible to believe because there are a lot of beliefs that are carried over time traditionally. But again, why are we entertaining these things? It's just, I guess, interesting to talk about, but I guess you want to hear my opinion. Congress found aliens. Yeah, you know what? Go put your tinfoil hat on, stand on your roof, and yell, "Come get me." And do that for a year straight. Tell me how that goes. They already got you. I don't know how, like, we've been having this kind of talk for like an hour now. I thought like kind of like some of the puppets would have left. I thought the puppets would have walked away. I saw the views go up, so I'm like, like what's going on, man? I thought the puppets would have walked away, man. We got to be smarter than this. We have to be smarter than this. It's way too late. It's already 2023. There's a lot going on. It's only going to get harder to train your mind and free your mind. It's only going to get harder. Because at least maybe back in the day, you only had your community to go against. Or your community or immediate family and like your immediate world way of thinking to go against. At least maybe that was it. But oh my God, now it's everything. Everything, everywhere, all the time. Couldn't imagine. You think there are aliens out there? Honestly, when I hear about the science of like statistically speaking that it would be impossible for there not to be aliens, I guess I would lean towards saying yes. But as far as them being like some advanced people like in movies and, you know, oh my God, they're so advanced. Do you have to also understand how the universe works? Time is so relative, right? That like, let's say we live to be 90 years old, whatever that means, right? You know how long a light year is? Like, you know how like, and then something can be thousands of light years away. Hundreds of light years this, or hundreds of light years that. And then there's also the assumption that, like, we're worth engaging with. Like, I don't know, there's so much to the alien talk. It's like, bro. Oh my God. They already said aliens are real. Again, when they get y'all with information like this, I just laugh because I sit back and I'm like, what are you gonna do? Like what are you gonna do? Like I'm telling you, they're the people that jump and get so excited or react the most to this information are the people who think that by time that they hear something, it was like a slip up. It's never a slip up. It's never a slip up. And to the non-puppets listening, always look at the reaction. Always look at the reaction. Pay attention. Always pay attention more when you see the reactions. It's always something. There we go. Another one, chat. Have they shared the confidential information about the dark side of the moon? Damn, they get y'all every time. Y'all, you know what y'all are? Y'all are people in the Coliseum.
You should hop down on Tiffany in the Pineapple Show.
I appreciate the 100 bits, Big Stepper. But y'all are like the people in the Coliseum looking at the bull, follow the guy with the red flag. Like, that's how they get y'all. Y'all seem so excited about information that will not substantially change your life, even if it was true, or even if it was false. It's just the entertainment of your brain or your mind, and like a new, oh wow, like that just gets you. Because think about this, right? I'll just entertain this for sake, like why? Okay. Oh my God, the government had a slip up. They revealed aliens are real. It is July 31st, Monday, 10:50 p.m. for me right now. At 10:51 p.m., what in my life changed? At 10:49, when I didn't know that to be true, what in my life was different? But the sad part is, right? You know what's going to be the worst part? Is it's going to be the people that think 10:49 p.m. was different from 10:51, and then by 10:52, their blood pressure already has been raised. They're already looking for information on what to do. I guarantee you, if we did some research right now, how much y'all want to bet I can find a video how to communicate with the aliens, where to find the aliens. Then I might find another video, my experience with the aliens. Then I'm already so deep into it, I'm ready to share this information with other people. No, you just don't know. You just don't know, man. That's a sign right there. That's a sign that the aliens contacted you. They get y'all every time. Y'all be so knee deep into the shit. It's just like I gotta like, damn, like. Big Stepper with another 100 bits, man. I appreciate you, bro. I seen the message. I just don't care for going on the Pineapple Show. We about to put the foot down on a lot of this type of content because y'all are relatively enjoying the substance. And I can do this all day on many different things because this is really just who I am behind a bunch of like the shit I've decided to have fun with on this internet shit. I'm going to be honest. I don't care about being Mr. and all this woman on my and all that. I conceal a lot of the shit I do in real life. Y'all have not seen a tip of the snowflake on the iceberg of how I move and what I have done in real life. I conceal and keep that shit away just because I believe that if I prop up this persona or this reputation for that shit, the demand for it will increase. And then we're so far led astray from actual information that'll change people's lives. I'm a character now. An entertainment, a specimen for entertainment, not a message or a meaning. So there's my short answer of why I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. And it may not comprehend to your brain because why not run that bag up? Why not be as big and as famous as I could be? Right? Or even a better question, why I do it as much as I have done it so far? And that's because I've been able to do and create a diverse situation on my channel. I've tolerated it for far too long. But I've created a diverse spectrum on my channel where I can steal people's or trick people's attention. Like, boom, I got you with the E-date. I got you with the blind date. I got you with the bot shit. But the video was actually bigger than you thought. Or the meaning behind the message was way deeper than you expected to get when you first clicked on that video. But that was my ploy and that plan. But I think playing the fence is no longer working for me. I just think that it attracts too many bots, man. It really does. And then it's like drifting left and right. Like, I don't like that no more. I really need to just accept it in myself that it's like, you know what? Draw the line in the sand and it's gone. It's gone. I don't give a I'm not even gonna pretend to anymore. Like, I don't care. I don't. Who you choose to be is the most powerful thing you can do. Taking accountability for who you're choosing to be. Taking the responsibility for who you're choosing to be is the most powerful thing you can do. But this is the thing about us as human beings, is that we have to be so infatuated with the why, right? Like the why is so important to us. Like for other species of animals, it's not that deep. Like it's like if I'm hungry, I'm a lion. I'm going to eat. I know I'm hungry. That's why I'm going to eat. Like let me just eat. If I told you, start that new business or career, you would have referred to another why you can't, why you shouldn't, why you like instead of just knowing that's what you want and just going for it straight at it, understanding the why immediately and just going straight at it and dealing with whatever comes. We always have to deal with some sort of like perception or something in that level. So when you say some shit like where were you? Where's your comment? What was your comment? Where were you at? Oh, who you're choosing to be? Wait. Somebody was replying to, and I said I just lost your comment because I read something else. Point blank, that's one of the most powerful things you can do because I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Like, what is more God-like than co-creating your reality? If you believe in God through a source of a religion, right? Even then, free will. Your ability. You're co-creating your reality. I do believe in a higher power, so I believe that what's meant to be will be, and what's not never will. But I also believe in this idea that like I can make something meant to happen. I don't know if I feel like I worded that so awkwardly, bro. I feel like that I worded that in the worst way possible. But I can put myself on the path for something to be meant to be. If that makes sense. I'm not default to what's meant to be. I'm co-writing it. I'm like co-creating it. That's a powerful realization. What do I mean by that? I am co-creating what's meant to be. Meaning that I have to play my part. I have to get out of my own way or allow the universe to support me. What are ways that I get? Why did I say get out of my own way and say allow the universe to support me? Because the options and the infinite limitations, there is no limitations in the universe. It's always expanding. It's always abundant. There's no limitations. So the only thing you have to do is get out of your own way and allow the universe to help you. So what do I mean by get out of your own way? Your own perception of yourself, your own limitation of yourself, your own low expectation of yourself, your own doubt of yourself, your own whatever the case may be, you're getting in your own way. Oftentimes what you see, and I can speak from this experience, having aligned myself with abundance, is that strong enough to have it all, too weak to take it. All of everything that's meant for you is right there. Right there. If it never is going anywhere. It's not far, unattainable, unreachable, or strange. It's right there. Take it. Like be strong enough to take it though. Be strong enough to drop your ego. Be strong enough to go against the fear, the uncertainty, to go against the doubt. Be strong enough to commit to it. Be strong enough to continue to keep going at it, regardless of whatever obstacles or barriers are there. For example, I woke up this morning. I did not feel like getting up to do this or do that or do that. That's a barrier or an obstacle. No matter what the obstacle or barrier it is, the obstacle or barrier being strong or difficult is relative to you. The barrier of getting up based on being lazy might be hard for you. Another person does that, felt lazy, and walked right past it. The barrier of public speaking to a crowd of 500 people may be hard for you. There's another person who will get up there and just do it with ease. It's relative to you. All right. I feel like that answered that. It's all relative to you. So you gotta change yourself like a Rubik's Cube. Like you gotta, all right, this side got too many blues on it. Let me fix that side, man. This side, this belief's not gonna help me. Like you gotta change like a Rubik's Cube, man. That's actually, I'm gonna go with that. Let's go with that. Be able to change yourself like a Rubik's Cube. Can substance be developed if desired or acquired if it's wanted bad enough? It has nothing to do with what you want bad enough, brother. It has to do with being curious. That's all. It's not. Again, it's not a condescending thing. Like I'm not smarter than you because I'm better than you and I wanted it enough. I'm smarter than you on the topics I'm talking about because these are things I've been interested or curious enough to explore in my mind or in information that I have access to. I could arguably reverse the roles, and you might have some shit like you might have a TV show you can have substance and death about. Then I know nothing about. I don't. Oh shit! How the fuck you know that? Same shit. A man to yourself or a man to your woman. A man is a man. He better be a man to his woman. Unless he wasn't a man to begin with. What's the mind eye deeply mean? Oh, the mind's eye. The eye that can see when your eyes are closed. The eye that can see in a non-material world. A non-physical realm, which is your imagination. Your creative atmosphere or your creative conscious. The mind's eye is everything. Then you got awareness. Well, awareness is more so has to do with attention. Which is why they want everybody's attention span to be short, because there's certain things you only can realize when you think slow. And long pause. Slow. Like, it sounds crazy, but y'all should know we talking about some real shit, so we ain't worried about some pause, but the nigga in me still gonna say pause. But, you know, different conversation for another day. Remember I did that video on brainwaves? And the type of brainwaves that trigger like high critical, analytical, fast, quick, sharp thinking, and you only get triggered at when you think slow enough to. And the fast in the other daily habitual thinking, the short attention span thinking cannot access that level of brain power. Scientific, this is into the neuroscience. This ain't just me watching some video on TikTok like, oh my god, I seen something cool. Like, no, this is some real shit. I think I'm on a path of becoming a narcissist. How do I revert this course? Wow, that is very straightforward. I ain't gonna lie. Wow. I mean, I don't know. That's dude. Damn. Chad, that's the funniest shit I read today. Y'all see that? Well, damn. I don't know, brother. Like, damn. I don't know. First thing I look at it, I say, I really don't know. Tell you have to wake up, you're the only real person in the world. The rest of us are drones, robots. Brother, do I look asleep to you? Let me actually go back to sleep. Like, come on, bro. At least the nigga was honest. Yo, that was crazy. That was just like the most straightforward sentence I read today. I'm not gonna lie. Funny thing about narcissists is that they're aware. Yeah, he sounds very aware. He sounds very aware. What is true narcissism, though? I've looked up a lot of things and dug into them, but true narcissism. Being narcissistic and having narcissistic... Oh, a narcissist is only a narcissist when they're aware of until they are delusional. This is why I knew I had to open Google. I just knew y'all weren't going to be helpful. Out of all the things I went to find definitions of in my life and really dug into, I never dug into narcissism. A mental health condition in which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance. Okay, so the key word here is unreasonably. So you can have a high sense of your own importance, but once it's unreasonable, okay, you're a narcissist. They need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. People with this disorder may lack ability to understand or care about others' feelings. Well, obviously because they're so self-absorbed and so focused on being recognized. This is actually sad. It almost sounds like a cry for help. Like, I'm not important if nobody recognizes it. And I'm so important, I need you to recognize it. But if I knew I was important, then it wouldn't make a difference if you recognized it or not. Oh, that sounds terrible. Thing is, with narcissists, they're shallow on the inside. Yeah, I think you could just read that and catch that immediately. I don't know, that's why it's a health condition, though, because they kind of like... Is the mic low? Let me see. Oh, yeah, it is low. It is low. The volume is very low. Oh, it's too quiet. Like, this nigga on the song. Oh, never mind. You good. Yo, this, like, I get anxiety thinking about this little nigga, bro. I'm thinking he climbed the cage, got in the living room. I don't know, man. Like, it's like having a kid. Like, they too quiet. They doing something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, the mic was definitely way lower than it usually is. He said, so basically modern day women. Yeah, right? There's a widespread disease of narcissism. Except it's hitting both sides. And the polarity is like fighting for control. Like, I'm the prize. No, I'm the prize. No, I'm the prize. No, I'm the prize. No, your body count's high, so you're not the prize because you have too much sex. Oh, no, you don't have enough money, so you're not the prize because you don't have enough money. So is the prize about... Is the money the prize then? Is the money the prize? And then is the innocence the prize? Isn't this what this is insinuating in the arguments or the debates? And then wouldn't it be that the man would have to be looking for that innocence for it to be the prize, and then not even the woman herself, but just the innocence she has? And then for you as a man, when you say, you know, I'm the prize because I got this bag and I got this money, then no. Your money's the prize. And then in that woman's eyes, that's like, you know, she can find the money. Do you want to be left at money? Do you want to be left at that for a prize? I don't know. Not me personally, because, you know, my money will benefit my spouse or my children in whatever way that it can. Fortunately, I'm in a situation where I have an abundance of money, but it's like, you know, working a career that it would benefit, it would feed my family and put food on the table and contribute to the bills to whatever limit I can. So it's not really the prize because I'm using it to support the family. The family should be the prize. The condition of our family, our children's lives. What else are we? What would we even be concerned about? I think it's so pointless to sit here and say, "Oh, you're not the prize because this and you're the prize to that." It's so pointless. At that point, it's like you're in a relationship, right? You know what would be pointless about talking about who's the prize and you're just trying to, because it's like, or you're just trying to have a casual relationship, because it's like, what's the point? Then at that point, the prize of the situation is sex or in a good experience. Then if we're gonna debate who's the prize for what, it's like, no. In a family, the family should be the prize. You know, a breadwinner pays the bills, but does that make you a good father? Because you can pay some bills? Like, I don't know, society is so shallow. Cause I don't even want to get into that bullshit. I have all the money I want. My son could still not have self-respect if I ain't there for him, or my daughter could still lack chastity and if I ain't there for her. Exactly. But the funny part is they get y'all so riled up in these debates and these conversations, and then as men you feel less of yourself. You know what? I think I have a perfect opportunity to go substance wise consistently with content chat. We about to do this full boat. This stream has showed me a lot. Like, I'm just honestly much more. This is just my lane as a person. But now to imply and implement it into the content, I got a perfect video. I seen this video and y'all tagged me in it too. It was a guy on a Twitter date. No, I said a Twitter date. It was a video on Twitter. A guy went on a date and was like damn near ready to cry because the woman ain't show up. You know? And it's like so much to unpack there for so many different reasons. So many different reasons. And I was tagging it a lot, which I think means people want my opinion. Say no. But so I'll talk about it.
We love this side of the dojo.
Big 8 months in the building, baby. Top Kid Montana with the Twitch Prime sub. You dig? I guess I'll say this now before, you know, I do a lot of the things that I believe will push me above in terms of like attention on the internet. I'm gonna tell you something I don't look forward to, which is why I tried to negate this as much as I could, you know, and just in general. I just, it's inevitable though, but it's just me thinking out loud before I end the stream. It's so, I guess I'm not understanding this because I'm not this kind of person, but it is so just like a brain twist to me when a person is so concerned with what a individual does in their personal life. Like, for example, I'm gonna just be using specific examples. Boom, I get bigger and bigger, whatever, more famous, more whatever. I wouldn't even be able to talk to just a woman in my life, right? Or be somewhere, or go do this or go do that, without a click of a camera or some shade room news headline. And to me, that makes me think of like famous people as like lab rats, you know? Because like it's just a regular experience. It's just a regular life, and it's just, I hate that, especially when there's so much more substance to, especially what I do, and then I just see like, why does this entertain you so much? But I guess it's just because I don't care about that kind of stuff. I think like this is like, what the like, there are a bunch of people who have nothing in their brains but celebrity experiences. Oh my God, did you see such and such bought this new car? Oh my God, did you see such and such? Oh my God, such and such was just on live with such and such. Oh my God, they just came on each. They just pause. They came on each other. They just, oh my God, such and such was just on a date with blah blah blah. Oh my God, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about a. Oh my God, I don't know. I walk into this and accept it now. Like the reason I didn't like this beforehand, like I said, because of that lab rat kind of belief I had. But I also just feel like it's a level of weirdness to it. Like, let me live. Let me be a nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's just so weird to me. But honestly, now I got over that mental trope or blockage to it. I'm just like, you know what? It come with the territory, and it is what. But I just find it's one of the weirdest things I think about when I think of this shit. Like, it's just like, that's intimacy. That's personal life shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? People do that to other people in general. You know what? And I still never liked it. I'm telling you, I've been receiving this kind of shit since high school, so I don't even know why I'm acting like it's a difference. You just actually helped me realize something. It's really not a difference for a like me. I've been receiving this type of shit. That's maybe why I don't like it, because I've been receiving this type of shit since high school. Oh my God, who's that? Rumors and just curiosity and just picking and picking and picking. It's like, get off my literally, get off of it if you ain't on it. That's actually like, no bullshit, Chad. It's like, get off my if you ain't on it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, when you're famous, it's gonna be the same for you. It already is. Like, I remember I went on that. I'll never forget. This was the first moment I looked at that. I was like, what the? I went on that live with Miami the Kid and Prom, and it was like 7 plug channels with that shit on their YouTubes. I was like, yo, you sat there for 40. It's again, this shit was new to me at the time, and it's new to me in general, because it's shit that I wouldn't care about people's lives. That another person is like, I don't know, Chad. Maybe y'all somebody looking at me like, bro, what are you like? Duh, like this shit. Duh, have you ever turned on the TV? Yes, but it's weird because I'm in it now. That's what's weird. Yes, I understand people who treat other people like this. Yes, I understand what's going on, all this shit. But now it's like, this is me. Like, nigga, I'm just me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Leave me the hell alone. You know what I mean? That's what's weird about it. Like, they finna be, oh no, there's already like plug channels, but they post content that's like relevant to what it is. I don't know. I just couldn't imagine getting a dopamine rush. Like, oh my God, Ice Spice and Drake. Like, meanwhile, they just 2 human beings. I'm just using them 2 as an example. They just 2 human beings that may have been attracted to each other or met, or like just think about just glamorizing like life. Like, I guess that's my last quarrel with clout and being extremely famous, and I'm gonna just walk down that road. But I had to get that off my chest. Like, that's so weird to me, bro. That's such a cringe moment. Just imagine that, Chad. Like, just put yourself in this position. Imagine, because this shit even happens. Imagine DMing a chick. I mean, this can happen to a regular nigga too, so I can't even say this has anything to do with fame. But imagine DMing a chick, and it's like, boom, screenshot, got him. It's like, yo, what the f***? Like, I said what I said. Like, yo, we live in an interesting time. But even if we go back to like farmers and shit, I bet you they had farmer gossip. Like, did you see Mary Jo give John her cow? Why would she do that? She let him borrow a pig. Why did she do that? Like, it probably was the same shit, bro. Like, it literally probably was the same shit, bro. I used to be like that before I started seeing more famous people realize they're humans. Just like, they're exact. That's why I can't get over. It's like just regular people, bro. You're bored. King K Brams, I appreciate the 2 months, man. Yo, I guess we just gotta let them talk. Then we gotta let them talk. They dehumanize them too. I always just find it interesting when other human beings are super critical of others, and then on the same page, like they're very sneaky, or like you go to peel their curtain. That's the weird part about me. If we all were just on the front lines exposed, then it'd just be like we see the world. But it's like, why dig into what you don't know? You're just exploring imagination at that point. Because maybe what you think is going down. Like, oh, such and such was meeting with this person. And then this theory and this rumor spreads. Like I said, I've been dealing with this shit since high school. But people stay on these things, chat. And I guess I find it interesting now that we made all these jokes about it. At first, I hated it. Not even for the fact of, like, it influenced me. But for the fact that it's like, yo, live. Go. Shoot. Live. Go. No way you this bored. That's how I used to look at it, like damn, like what the f***? Are you saying vibe? I'm gonna say the vibe. That's what I wanted to just close the stream on though. But welcome more of this. I think honestly I like the viewership, I like the engagement of the stream today, which is very, very solidifying of like this type of vibes. Like, man, f*** all the other shit, bro. Let's get back to the substance. Let's get back to the guts, the glory of this shit. The shit that I really care about. F*** all the entertainment, f*** all the club, what they that's just gonna be there. That's just gonna exist. Period. Let's do what the dojo do. Let me do what Tykwondoe does. Dojo to the moon, to Saturn, and we leaving the solar system. The limbs won't even know we exist. Baby.